Hey, it's Hayley here, and today I am going to be doing semi-permanent faux freckles. And if you've seen some of my other videos, you know that faux freckles are a common trend on my makeup videos. I like doing faux freckles on my makeup looks, and I think it just looks really cute. But typically I would do that with makeup, and I'll do it at the end of my makeup routine with usually an eyeliner or an eyebrow pencil or eyebrow pomade. But it got me thinking about semi-permanent freckles, and I was thinking about how I could achieve that. And it just came to me one day when I was just contemplating faux freckles, as you do, that maybe I can use a brow tint. And I thought I was a genius, but then I looked on YouTube and I saw another girl had already done it. So I guess this is not such an original idea and I'm not a genius, but I think it's still a really good idea. So if you want to see how I achieved faux freckles, semi-permanent faux freckles, please keep watching. So you'll only really need two things for the faux freckles. The first being a Tattoo Brow Gel Tint. This is the Maybelline one, and this is in the shade Medium Brown. I also previously owned the same Maybelline one and an Etude House Tint My Brows Gel, both in the color Grey Brown. And I tried these out on my face and they didn't turn out too well because they just looked too dark and a bit too unnatural for my skin tone. I already have some natural freckles which are a lot lighter than this, and it's a different shade. So I went and picked up a lighter color, and these are around $24 in Australia, so try to get them on sale if you can, because I think I only paid about 12 bucks for this. So not bad at all. The second thing that you're gonna need is a brush, a fine brush like this. This is a fine liner by Zoeva, and I had never previously used this brush in my life, but I thought it'd be perfect for drawing on the freckles. But if you don't have a brush like this, you can also use a toothpick, or I have a skewer. I just cut off the end of the skewer and I have this little pointy top part and apply the freckles like that. So before you start this process, wash your face, make sure your face is nice and clean, but don't put any moisturizers or any skincare down on your face. You want a bare, fresh face to start off with. I would also recommend that you exfoliate prior to doing this, just because I exfoliate every 2 to 3 days, and you don't want to be in like day one of the faux freckles and you feel the need to exfoliate. I use the SkinTouche Glycolic Scrub 14%, which I would recommend to anyone. But yeah, exfoliate prior to doing this. And I find that the gel tint doesn't last too long. It only lasts a few days, just because you're cleansing your face, you're applying makeup, there's a lot of oils and stuff, so it doesn't last too long. But what I think is good is just apply a few more freckles as you go. And I already have some faux freckles that are starting to fade from 2 days ago. So if you kind of keep layering it on, I think it looks a lot more natural. Like there'll be more faded ones, there'll be fresher ones. So I think it overall will look nicer anyways. So just to show you, this is what the product itself looks like. It comes on quite a thick brush, and I don't recommend using this brush just because it's going to be just too big and it's not really easy to control. I would just dip in or paint on some of the product onto the skewer, and then just start dotting it gently onto the face, like so. And then just keep going in. You can even like dip the skewer like inside of the brush. And I'm also going off a reference photo that I found on Pinterest. I will link it down below so you can kind of see what I was going for as well. But you just want to keep layering on the freckles wherever you want. And I like to put it on my, what do you call it, my cheekbones, just because I feel like that's an area where the sun naturally hits and you would more likely get freckles there. When you're applying this, obviously freckles aren't all the same shape and size. So if you do ones that are a bit thinner, a little bit thicker, that's fine. Or even like kind of combining two freckles together. And you want to make sure that you get, you know, a decent amount of the product on each freckle. As you go along with the skewer, it'll start to fade out a bit, but you want to make sure that there's enough product on each freckle so the the product actually soaks into the skin well. And you want to kind of go off course as well. You don't want to completely stay in one area. You want to apply just kind of rogue pimples, rogue freckles around. You can also do the same method with a really fine brush and use paint on the product onto this brush and just go in, and it has pretty much the same effect as a skewer. So either roll is fine. For my nose, I like to cluster it in like a strip. I don't like to go down too much on my nose here because I find that sometimes if you put too much freckles, your nose ends up looking a little bit dirty. So I just like to keep it in kind of one area and then just do a few of the rogue freckles. As you go along, clean off your skewer every so often because the product starts to build up on there and it starts to dry out as well. So it's best to just clean it every so often and keep going. So I'm pretty happy with this, and this is only the first stage. I'll probably go in again with a second layer just in case I've missed any spots. And you can see and reevaluate once you wash off the first layer if you want to add any more freckles to certain areas. So I'm going to wait about half an hour. This does say wait about 20 minutes, but I'm going to wait maybe half an hour, a bit longer. So it's been a bit longer than 30 minutes, but I started editing a video and got carried away with that. So I just washed it off just then, and I feel like I need to add a bit more freckles on this side. It looks a little bit unbalanced. This side has a lot more freckles in this general area, whereas this one's really focused on this area. So I want to add a bit more here, as well as on that part of the bridge of the nose. And then I think it should be good after that. But yeah, hopefully you can see them. They are quite light and quite faded, but obviously you don't want them to be too dark because they're supposed to look natural. And I know this seems really extra and unnecessary, but I really like the look of freckles, so I don't really mind doing it if I have spare time. Okay, so I've added some more on those areas I said, as well as some more of those rogue freckles, and then I'll leave it for another 30 minutes, and then I'll be back. So the second layer is now on, and I really like how it looks, but I'm going to apply some makeup on now so you can see what it looks like when I have makeup. So I've just got my everyday makeup on, and yeah, it looks really cute with makeup on. It just looks like freckles have been, you know, covered up with a bit of makeup. But I did do some freckles a bit dark in this area, and I wish I would have brought the freckles up a little bit more up my nose and then to my forehead area. But as I said, you know, maybe tomorrow I'll add a few more freckles, and I'll add some here just for that layering effect of freckles. And yeah, overall I think it's a really good technique, and yeah, it's easy, but it does take time. It's time consuming to wait for it to set and everything. Other than that, it's super simple to do. But yeah, I think it's really cute, and I'm interested to see people's reaction to it. I did have some light freckles on my face yesterday and the day before, and actually one of my friends actually was like, oh, what's that on your face? I was like, oh, it's a freckle. He's like, oh, I didn't know you had freckles. I was like, yeah, I have freckles. I'm also going to be tracking the fading of the freckles over the next few days, so I'll insert some clips of that here. So it's now the next morning and I look like trash, but I double cleansed last night as I always would when I'm wearing makeup, and I washed my hair this morning, and so my face was exposed to a lot of water and the freckles have faded quite a bit. They are still on both of my cheeks. I can see a lot on this side in particular, maybe because I sleep on this side, I'm not really sure. And it has mostly gone from my nose, but I think that's because that's an oily part of the face, so they don't last as long on my nose. But yeah, I can definitely still see them on my cheeks. But now I'm going to go in and do another little layer so I can start layering up on the freckles. And yeah, I forgot to show you an up close of my face. So you can still see it in this area, my nose not so much, and I've already started applying some more freckles on this side, but you can still kind of see where the other freckles were. Alrighty, so that should be it. I'm going to let it set. I hope that you liked this video. If you did, go hit the like button, and if you want to see some more videos by me, go hit subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye!